September in Melbourne, and here we see thousands of people from all parts of Victoria visiting the Melbourne Royal Agricultural Show. They come to see the animals and the goods from the farm and the factories that have been placed on display. Schools too organise visits to the showground, so let's join them. What a crowd there is, and so many places to visit. It'll be easy to lose your way in this little city with its pavilions, banks, cafes, shops and halls. Luckily, there's a very good map of the showgrounds. If we follow it carefully, we'll see as many things as possible in the day. The different animals are in separate pavilions, and our fit is to see the dairy cattle. The 5 cattle pavilions are marked on the map. If we follow the dotted lines on the ground, they lead us to the first pavilion for the Guernsey cattle. See those ribbons on the wall? They were awarded by the judges to the best animals in each section. On the opening day of the show, the animals were paraded in the rings. The judges, who know a great deal about animals of different breeds, awarded blue ribbons to the first prize winners, red to the second, white to the third, and a very special ribbon for the champions like this Clydesdale. Now, notice how these German Shepherd dogs are paraded. The judge looks closely at their colour and the proportions of their bodies. She also watches how obediently and how well they stand and run with their masters. As we continue our journey, we come to the pigs. The different pigs are kept in stalls of their own. These children are watching Mother Pig feed her piglets. Nearby is the poultry pavilion where fowls and ducks are being shown. These multicoloured chicks were hatched by the warmth of this infrared lamp. Soon they'll lose their coloured fluff and grow feathers. Some of them may even look as handsome as this big black rooster. Next on our guided tour are the horse stalls. They're located in several places, so we cannot see them all. Over 2,500 horses were at the show this year. In the sheep pavilion, we can see some of the judging if we hurry. All the breeds are here except the merinos, which are not at their best at this time of the year. In the Centenary Hall, we see Australia's best shearers competing. The first to finish does not necessarily win the prize, and the shearer must also be careful not to hurt the sheep or spoil the fleece. Here is the champion fleece on display. And in the same building, we see the finished woolen dresses being worn in the mannequin parade. There are competitions for school children too. 108 children are competing in this apple packing competition. The judges give points for neatness. Once again, the first to finish may not be the winner. Each apple must be carefully packed and neatly arranged in the case. Young farmers' clubs also have a display. Here are the prize-winning sheaves of wheat. We can see something of the riches of other states. There's even a butcher shop where meat is sliced into its various cuts. Outside, we can enjoy all the fun of the fair. Merry-go-rounds, slides, Ferris wheels, everything seems to be here. There are sideshows too, with dancers, boxers, and performing animals to entertain us. Down near the station gates is the Dairy Machine Pavilion. This is a very popular display which tells the story of milk. The instructor is telling the children how modern machinery milks the cow, and we can see for ourselves the way the milk is pasteurized. See how carefully the bottles are cleaned and sterilized. They pass on untouched by hand to be filled. Then mechanically capped. The bottles are loaded into crates and carried away. 1,000 gallons of milk are drunk at the show every day. Nearby we can see the machinery displays. Most are planned to be useful to the farmer. Every year the show displays more and more machinery that will help him to do his work more quickly and more easily. The tractor will pull heavy ploughs and reapers. This is a machine that will lift bales of hay into a store. Here too are all the new model motor cars. In the halls of manufacture and commerce, many firms display foodstuffs and sell sample bags. The fairy floss stand is doing good business. No samples here, just a man showing how the banks sort coins and roll them into packets. On this stand, you can even stamp your own railway ticket. We must hurry if we want to see the competitions in the wood chopping arena. Before we leave the show, we must see some of the events in the main arena. It's hard to find a seat in this huge crowd, so we must keep close to teacher and not lose our way. More competitions for the best horse riders and jumpers. Trotters are also competing for valuable prizes. You don't see sheep tossing on the farms these days, but it's still an exciting sport. And finally, for the grand parade of prize-winning horses, cattle and goats. Now perhaps you'll see why we call the show the shop window of the state. Right before our eyes we see examples of the wealth and richness of the Victorian countryside. There's something else too, for here the people from the city meet the people from the country, and everyone learns a little about each other. We see something of the way they live and the work they do. Of course, the farmers and manufacturers who win prizes are very proud of their animals and goods. This makes everyone try even harder so that they might win a prize next year. In this way, the quality of our stock and produce is improved, and people from overseas will want to buy more and more of our Australian goods. The show goes on into the night with a youth club display of acrobatics and finally a wonderful fireworks display. Certainly something to remember, a day at the show.